Hey guys, so we're going to talk today about one of the really easy forms of vegan activism, and that is using your social media sites. So the main one here is Facebook, because you can easily share a video or a picture or a fact instantly amongst all your friends, and they can obviously like, share and whatever, you know, that footage as well. I'm just going to give you some useful pointers, some useful tips on what you can do and how to do that. So when you share your actual footage, I always try and keep it 50-50, positive and negative. By that I mean I try and keep 50% of it positive stuff, so the stuff where you see these cute cuddly pigs running around, or people bottle feeding their goats, animals that have been saved, the stuff that people are like, oh look at that, isn't that sweet. It appeals to the compassionate side, it appeals to empathy, and it might help people make that connection between that nice little cute fluffy piglet and the bacon that's on their plate. And the negative stuff, I mean those horrific videos that I'm sure you've all seen and most of us have watched. And for me that's actually what led me onto the path of becoming vegan, so it does work. I'm living proof that it does work. So try and keep 50-50, because if you just constantly post negative stuff, then people are going to unfollow you and then nobody's going to see anything. If you just post positive stuff, it possibly doesn't work as well, because when we see the negative things, people don't like seeing animal abuse, so that will be what makes them question, what makes them start to ask what's going on, why am I consuming this. So it's really important to keep 50-50. Another thing is always share fact, so that way you can't get called a liar by people, because you can sometimes get negative comments, negative messages. I've personally been on the receiving end of that, and it isn't very nice, especially if I know there's quite a few people who potentially have social anxiety issues or some form of anxiety, so receiving messages from people who, you know, on your friends and family list calling you a liar and other things isn't particularly it's not exactly pleasant. So make sure you share fact, and if people have a problem with it, you can just tell them to unfollow you. Depending on how confident you are, you can argue with them, but I always try and pick my fights. So there's no point fighting with someone that you're going to be sat there banging your head against a wall with, and they're never going to change their ways. You also possibly don't want to fight with people and ruin a friendship. These kinds of things. Try and pick your fights. You can just tell people to unfollow you if they don't want to see it. But that is one of the slightly negative downsides to this, is if you share stuff, people might get offended because you're questioning their ways of life, you're questioning things that they've done for years, you know, and they might not feel comfortable about that for whatever reason, and therefore you might be on the receiving end of some negative comments. Most of us have been there. I can't really give you any advice on how to deal with that as such. You just kind of have to try not to take it too personally. As I say, most of us have been there, been on the bad side of receiving negative comments, and it is one of the downsides to activism. But you gotta remember, for all the negative stuff that happens, there's positive. You're sharing these videos, you're sharing the stuff on your Facebook, you might actually be changing someone, you might be making someone question things, you might be making someone decide to drop eggs or drop dairy, or they might decide to go vegetarian, which is the first step. So you've always got to try and stay in a positive mind frame, even if you're getting negative attention from people, and don't let that put you off sharing things. Don't let that put you down. So yeah, try and share positive and negative at the same time. That way, not allowing people to unfollow you, but trying to wake people up to the reality of what's going on. Try not to feel too down or feel too negative. If you do start getting bad comments from people, as I said, you can kindly ask people to unfollow you if that does happen. Try not to take it too personally. People often online will say things to you that they wouldn't say to your face. That's something as well you've got to remember. So I hope this has been useful for you, and I hope I haven't waffled on too much. So yeah, carry on sharing the footage and carry on sharing good things with people, and hopefully you'll change some minds, and hopefully you'll get some positive messages from people every now and again. Good luck. Bye.